Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Deep Magic. We're filming on a particularly fraught night, so most of us are, getting in character, turning down as much as we possibly can. When this films, God knows what will actually be happening, but we're glad you're here, and we're glad to be with you. So, I, as always, am your storyteller, Spectre, and I'm back in Canada again, so different background again, and we are going to do our introductions as normal, starting from the top. MJ, who are you? Who do you play?
Hey, I'm MJ Bradley Lestrange, co-host of Reignite, The Circle of Friendship, and the Rob Thomas No Not That One Robcast. Here I play Gray, a punk rock selkie who has no idea what they're doing.
And Rhea.
Hi, I'm Rhea. I don't really do much of interest. I have a cat on me, though, and that's got to count for something. I play Anil, who is just a big fucking shit talker.
Fair. Velvet.
Greetings, I'm Velvet. You can find me as the Mother of Monsters on Stories of a Broken Sun, the Mad Tinkerer on Flight Risk, and the Sheriff of Boston's Camarilla on Boston by Night on the Onyx Path channel.
Awesome. And Michelle, and that wonderful hair.
Hi, I'm Michelle Sealight. The C stands for Crystal, and you can find me as the storyteller for Boston by Night, which is having its season finale the day after this airs, Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. One of our party members is throwing a party in order to prove themselves to the Camarilla, so it's going to be a night of partying. You can also find me here every Friday.
And Julian.
Hi, I'm Judy Vanish, and I am a storyteller for The Empire, Last Breath, Chicago by Night. We survived happily. Halloween, yay! Here I am, Nuncia Kata, Ambassador of Bats, and the cards are already in the mix and being shuffled. We'll find out what happens soon.
And last, but certainly not least, Evan.
Hey kids, I play Cormac Blackwatch, a very professional delivery man, and I went camping last night.
Anyways, we're going to start with a bit of an intro this time, and then we are going to pick up with our motley, where they have been staying in an Airbnb. Where we left them, they had been just visited by in a dream by a giant, and several days have now passed since that time. But first, a little backstory. At the top of a mountain at the top of the world, or perhaps the bottom of the world, it matters little in this liminal space, there grows a tree with silver leaves above a golden pool, or perhaps it is a golden tree over a silver pool, and around the tree lies a ring of coffins. One lies open, and the silken pillows beneath the lid lie empty and forlorn. A veiled figure stands guard over the pool, watching swirling figures pass through the mirror-like surface like wraiths. A single metallic leaf falls upon the unmoving surface, and the figure looks up. I know, old friend. Time tempers all, even the most stubborn of hearts. Long, pale fingers pass over the pool, creating small ripples, and even the smallest ripples disturb the pool. An image of 6 changelings in a small B&B in the wilds of Canada pass over the surface before fading again. And there's still time yet. Go. And as the ripple fades back to stillness, the eyes of the wolf are visible for just a moment. Which brings us to our motley. You have been staying in a small Airbnb outside of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Yes, it's called Saskatoon.
I have a friend who lives there.
I also have family who lives out there. So it's a city actually, but you are not staying within the city itself. You are staying on a B&B that used to be a farm. So it's a smaller property than the farms around you. It has been largely quiet in terms of your physical presence here. You have been able to get certain things done. The only things that have been happening is all of you have been plagued by dreams, not necessarily of the giant, but when you do dream, you dream of fairy tales gone wrong. You dream of stories that begin the way you imagine them and the way you've heard them before, but always at the end, no matter what you do and no matter what you dreamed of, the villain of the story always wins. There is no happy ending. There is no laughter. There is only stillness and the taste of bitter cold. So, let's start around from the top. Gray, what have you been doing over the past couple of days?
Give me 2 seconds. I just remembered something that you sent me that I have to write down because otherwise I will lose it. Okay, great. Gray has been working on writing music and not succeeding.
Fair.
Like, they have snatches of lines, maybe a chorus, nothing is fitting together.
Rhea, Anil.
So, over the past few days, Anil has spent a lot of her time working on one particular object, which is a seeing eye stick for Annunciata with a hidden sword inlaid in it. The cane itself is made of oak with an inlaid brass swirl pattern that evokes feelings of flight. The handle of the cane is shaped like a bat wing, and care is taken to make sure it feels like one too while being comfortable. The blade itself is thin and brittle, but sharp. It isn't meant for sustained combat. It's meant to fuck shit up and let Annunciata get away. So Anil will go over to Annunciata and just be like, I owe you this. You told me to make you something. Our contract's done. I don't like owing people shit. Just make sure you know who you're stabbing.
Double check first.
As this scene plays out, I just want you successfully do this. I would like you to roll me an intelligence and craft roll to see how well it's made. Annunciata, you are well enough familiar with the kiths to know that this is knocker made, so there will be a fatal flaw in it, but what it is, neither you nor Anil know. Which brings us to Lakoka. Lakoka, what have you been doing over the past couple of days?
I've probably been establishing a perimeter, kind of just getting to know the area around the house, like all the little nooks and crannies and ambush spots, just in case something happens. And also, like carving angry faces into trees and leaving like little like stick dolls to freak people out.
Okay.
What's my threshold?
Your threshold is just the base threshold of 6.
Okay. All right. So I got 5 then.
Perfect. Thank you. It is Annunciata. That means it is a very finely made sword stick. It obviously you have probably been in houses with lord's treasures before. While you may not have been able to touch all of them, you certainly have been in the presence of treasures that are better. But this is well made for you. Lakoka, for you, I'm going to have you roll perception plus security, so I know how much you see as you do the perimeter. Which brings us to Iris. What have you done over the past couple of days?
She's sent emails to her mom and dad to be like, don't worry, everything's fine. I'm so sorry about missing the flight tickets you sent me. Unfortunately, I had to assist some friends in some charitable matters. I'm doing my best.
You have had several anxious phone calls from your mother, but radio silence from your father.
And she's gonna a bit panicky, just being like, oh dear goodness, him being silent is far more worse than him when he's outright angry with me. Silence means he's planning something. Anger means he's mad. Silence means he's fuming. And she's also going to try to reach out to her mentor to be like, what do you do when you don't know what you're doing anymore? I need some advice.
That you will get a response to that today. Having looked at your situation, they have said it took some thought to find a way forward for you. It is a complicated situation, to say the least. How much did you tell them?
She doesn't tell them everything. She's just like, I think I got in a mix of sorts with really, really interesting people. I like them, but I'm not sure if they like me, or if they're just using me, or if they actually like me. Or I don't know if I'm just here along for the ride, but I'm really nervous that they might be like a bad sort, but I don't think they're bad. They're just like crazy. How do I deal with crazy? I don't know how to deal with crazy.
They will respond to you. Annunciata, what have you done with the past couple of days? The book that was delivered to you was shipped to you in your location.
She would have picked that up and started to try and read it the best that she can to find out what it is, why it was sent to her, any clues as to what's going on. With what Anil had given her, she would consider the contract complete, thank Anil, and actually pay Anil for it as well on top of it. And it's not that it wasn't anything owed, but it was also an exceptionally good job, and she would offer, if she would like to be at some point sponsored into the House Dougal for the exceptional craftsmanship and hard work that they have put into it.
This is an actually very good offer, Anil, in terms of your status and your ability to sell things to other changelings. Whether you're interested in it or not is up to you, but in terms of changeling society, this is a good offer.
Do I have to give you an answer right now? Because
No.
most people don't fucking like me, so I don't want to ruin your reputation.
My reputation is more of what I do for the court, but the house I represent is more of it's more of your kind of people. Very hard workers, lots of knockers. Many doors would be open to you for that. And many knockers would be collaborating with you if you so choose. But
That's pretty tempting.
it
I'm
is.
gonna need like a day to think about it.
You can take as
So-
long as you want. It's an open-ended offer.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And Cormac, what have you done with the time?
Finished up professional business. So by now I've dumped all of those seeds and concrete into a nearby water source, come back, touch base with the boss about it. And ever since then, if we've been hanging low for a little bit more time, probably tried to make contact with a couple of his friends back home and called his family, make sure they were okay, just checking in. He likes to touch base with home when he travels.
I don't think we've ever discussed it, but who is in Cormac's family?
He's got an ex-wife and a kid.
Okay, cool.
His son is about 9 years old, and he's over the moon for the kid, but he doesn't see him very often. Wife got custody.
Okay. In terms of the contract, you were paid in full. There was no hanky-panky about that.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anything else from your boss currently. He is a little concerned, but you're still within the time limit that you had taken off for the riot. You're getting close to it at this point, but nothing too drastic at
Okay.
this point to deal
All
with.
his other spare time, I'm going to say then, is going to go into reading up on classic fairy tales. Probably crack open a tome of Grimm's originals, and he's going to start with Jack and the Beanstalk.
Okay.
And he doesn't really, He's on like that verge of, I don't know if this is happening, but why not? What better do I have to do?
All right, fair. For both you and Annunziata, I'm going to have you both roll an intelligence and something. Probably lore if you've got it, or kenning would be appropriate as well. Although I will say, Annunziata, your book is not a book of fairy tales as described. It is a book of myths. When you start looking at it, it is a book of Celtic myths. It is also an academic study of those myths, and they are in Braille. Nice. It's better than your run away from shit rolls.
It's ironic because I only had 3 dice for this.
Sure. Nice. Both of you did about the same on this. Cormac, when you go through the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, it has a very rote thing, and every version of it has similar bones to it. It is about a person who is not necessarily the best at maintaining their responsibilities, getting lucky by being brave. And the giant itself is not necessarily, at least particularly from a troll perspective, as bad as certain other fairy tale villains in that, yes, it eats people, but it is also protecting its home and property continuously. So there is something to be said about the fact that that would be a fairly normal changeling endeavor. And if you look at it from a changeling lens, there's some gray area in whether or not Jack is the hero of that story. Annunziata, it's a dense book. Clearly somebody wanted you to have access to the descriptions of the original Celtic gods. So the Dagda, the Morrigan, Brigid, there's a listing for each of them. While you haven't really had enough time to go through each one of them specifically, and you haven't had enough information to pin it to something else, it is not necessarily a fairy tale thing, but more the precursor to this. And because you are connected to the courts and because you understand something about the creation of changeling society as it is, you understand that this is deeper than most people would remember in a changeling historian context. This is just a mortal historian context, but in a changeling historian context, what the Fomor were actually like, they don't know. What the, like, that's beyond that and in Lost in Arcadia still. Anyways, nobody has been getting a whole lot of sleep because of the nightmares, and they're not necessarily creepy to you in waking hours. They're just portentous. They make you uncomfortable. I'm going to need everybody to roll me some stamina rolls here. And it's just straight stamina, so whatever you have for your stamina, I'm going to need you to get at least 2 successes.
Spec, nothing half of us do is straight.
What's the DC?
I was about to say, I don't know that anything any of us do is particularly straight, but...
I'm sorry, I was so caught up in being clever, I missed what the other thing you said was. Stamina and what?
Just stamina.
Okay.
Straight stamina.
I was about to say, if you need... Okay, 2 successes passes.
What's the DC?
It's going to be 6 at strat.
It is 4 for me.
Great. So everybody is still okay. If you had gotten less than the required 2 successes, you would have been suffering points of exhaustion from not getting enough sleep right now.
Can Anil do one more thing?
Yes, absolutely.
So what she is going to do, she's going to take like an afternoon and make something blown from glass to give as a gift. Can she do that?
Yep. Roll me your intelligence and craft roll. Tell me what you get. Lakoka, I
Yes.
never got your perception and security roll. And
Oh, it was 4. I
Okay.
had held it up. Sorry for that.
Sorry, I missed that in the discussion. In your patrols of the outer limit. Both Anil has put some baseline security in here, things that trip lights on if anybody passes into the property and stuff like that. You notice squirrel prints. You notice wolf prints. You notice, there's one other thing. Oh, crow prints as well. The outer limit. And one other thing that just looks like a human walking. Madden is still 6 inches tall, guys. He's been mostly pretty cool with this whole situation. He does find it kind of relaxing to be here and not have to do anything, especially. He does like cereal boxes because he can kind of like get into them and eat stuff on his own without having to get other people to make him stuff. So.
Fucking cat.
Yes.
Literally a cat.
A garbage cat we found in the dumpster.
Pretty much. He doesn't seem particularly alarmed by anything here, which would mean that he's pretty certain that you're on land that is okay to be on vis-a-vis Laurel currently. Annunciata and Iris, you would know that if he is who he says he is, he would know most of the freeholds in Canada. He would know whose land belonged to who. Even if he can't fix his metamorphosis problem, he does have access to the court.
I mean, are we going to leave him tiny?
I mean, none of us has the ability to transform him.
Do you have like a friend that you can like tell us to go visit? That you're like a pal, buddy, guy, friend?
It's like,
Anyone
well,
you know?
my friends were in Laurel's inner court, and I've been hanging out with them for quite some time. I could ask them, but then Laurel would know exactly where I am, so I'm going to have to find someone outside my normal friends, because...
Okay. Acquaintance?
He goes, all right, let me see, where are we? Does anybody have a map exactly of where we are? Just map coordinates? Google Maps, guys?
I mean, yeah, I got a phone.
Okay. Great. So if someone shows him where you are, he goes, oh, okay. So you are on the Marquise Elena's freehold area currently, not specifically here. You're not in her freehold, but this is her territory here. She's House Beaumain. Not everybody's favorite cup of tea, but she's not bad. Also doesn't really hang out with Laurel much. Mostly does monster hunting, to be honest. I can't remember if she does metamorphosis or not. Honestly, we should find a puka, but I can't remember. She has puka in her household. I know.
Only we know of a puka that's been following us consistently.
He goes, well, not every puka has metamorphosis. They just have the capability to do it, and they tend to know other people who can, because...
My statement is still true.
He's like, okay, but the squirrel, Serini, is trying to take... Never mind.
Wait, the squirrel's still following us?
Yeah, I would have let everybody know about the tracks and stuff.
Why would the squirrel still be following us? You gave them the cup.
Right.
Why do squirrels do
Suspicious squirrel.
anything?
I mean, if anybody,
I've heard that about squirrels.
anybody wants to try and figure out why the squirrel is still following you, you can roll, just a straight intelligence check.
That's probably nothing.
That's not me.
I'm just saying.
Nope.
Okay.
Hold on.
I rolled a 6, a 3, and a 2.
Yeah. Technically, the 6 is a success on a baseline, so you have a success.
Let me roll my single die in intelligence.
You could roll better than me.
Oh, that was a 10.
Well, you have 2 successes, so you actually
1.
3 successes. All right.
Straight on intelligence.
So, Lacroca, Your gut tells you the squirrel's not deaf. And Enunciacata, you know the squirrel's not deaf.
But I don't have one.
We didn't tell that fucker shit, though.
Yeah, no, it just followed you and listened to you under the car.
Garbage monkey.
I did have it roll to see if it could do it, and it did. So it just listened to you.
Piece of shit. All right, well, I don't know that. Okay.
I should have eaten it when I had a chance.
Even what?
Again, you don't need to be supernatural every time. Sometimes just your God-given senses will work.
I'm gonna light that squirrel on fire.
Anna's actually kind of.
Oh no, that did something terrible to my brain.
I mean, in fairness, the squirrel is not a squirrel. The squirrel is a person.
Well,
I'm
no.
the girl on fire, except it's squirrel on fire.
Squirrel's on fire? How about yours?
The squirrel just has not turned into its changeling form recently.
I only heard it. I didn't see. Who did the Smash Mouth reference?
That was Iris.
Good. It gave me a giggle.
I love it.
That's my one immature moment you get.
So that's probably why the squirrel is still following you. It's just not dumb.
Why is the squirrel still following us?
Rodents are weird.
They are.
This isn't a rodent. This is a person shaped like a rodent.
So
I like to think
why
of
is
a
rodent
the squirrel
adjacent.
son still following us?
Well, probably because they suspect something. They seem
Or maybe
very
it just wants to
suspicious.
taunt us after you, like, fucking epically missed that kick.
You did punt the squirrel.
I think Anil failed to punt the squirrel.
It's
I'm
true.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Listen, they're fast fuckers. There's size
Isn't that
differences,
great?
and then you get into like physics dynamics and things slow
You
down.
Smaller
Charlie
hitbox.
Brown. Did you land? Did you land on your bum? Were you
No,
Charlie
I didn't-
Brown?
no.
Just go get the
No.
squirrel.
No, fuck you.
Anil has more dignity than that.
Yeah, thank you, Gray.
No, I would have taken a picture if that happened.
I got you, boo.
Alright, I'm going to need everybody to roll perception and alertness, please.
Hell yeah.
Love it when that happens.
Perception.
Never suspicious.
Alertness. 3, 4.
This is a 7 for your threshold, though.
It's because I got my glasses.
3.
3, 2.
That's a 7.
Oh, Jesus.
I rolled 2 10s.
So everybody with a success hears one of Anil's traps go off at the edge of the property. Everybody with a 3 or above can see the shadows of people coming across the fields. Anil, what types of security measures did you put around the house?
I probably used less than lethal. Things given Iris's penchant for finding them, which is appreciated, more or less.
It's also appreciated because you're a knocker.
They would probably be things like tripwires that ring bells. Nothing that would harm a person, because I don't want to like harm some random fuck who's walking past. And this is like an Airbnb, so like it's technically someone's house. Like I don't want to like kill the owner accidentally or like set up a bear trap. So it'd probably be like different alarm bells, or like a small pit to twist someone's ankle or something along those lines.
Okay. So because you are out in farmland, one of the things that happens in farmland quite often is there are things that sound like gunshots to scare off birds. It's usually to keep things out of like vines and grapes and stuff like that. They are very loud. They're very startling. They do not cause any harm at all, but they are normal to the area. So if one of your traps went off and set off either bells within the Airbnb itself or something like that, it wouldn't trigger the mortal population too much, but it would trigger you.
It would probably be more like bells, because I would want to have some type of system to know which bells are associated to which traps, so I could like see which one was ringing and know exactly where they were from.
Okay, so there's one of those little, like, then what I'm going to say happened is you made one of those, like, little servant bell type situations where it has an individual bell for each different area of the perimeter. The bell starts ringing for you. It's actually got two separate ones coming, one from the north and one from the west, so it looks like they're approaching from two corners, whatever they are.
Oh, fuck. There's someone coming. Shit. I'm gonna go and take a look upstairs. I need another person to help me take a look. I need everyone else to get some type of fucking weapon. And then Cicada, no offense, I do not need your help with this one.
I'll go.
I'm going to offer it. I have a problem with feeling things.
I just wanted to let you know you're very forthcoming and helpful, and I appreciate that about you. But the eyesight thing just kind of fucks the whole thing over.
Oh, I know. I was going to stand back.
Annunciacata, what do the cards say?
Do you really want to know?
I do.
Not when you say it like that.
I mean,
First-
when you say it like that, I most want to know.
First was the Five of Pentacles, setback, rocky times, financial loss. Then it was the Two of Pentacles, juggling, disorganized, scattered. And then the last one I just pulled out was the Devil.
So,
That's addiction device and self-medication.
Anil and Gray, you go upstairs to see what is coming up the lane, correct? Roll me perception and do alertness again because it is the most relevant. But you're looking for something. Investigation will work too.
I would like to initiate the classic misdirection portion of the old razzle dazzle. I will pretend to step out to throw something out.
Okay. That's fair. You can do that without having to roll anything. I'm guessing you take your sides with you.
One success.
I
unless it's
do,
lower
but I
than
think
six.
it's still glamored.
That's fair. There's definitely something moving through the grass, the field out there. You can see it moving. What it is, you don't know. Gray, did you see more than that?
I have 3 successes.
It is a group of very tall people. There are about 4 of them. They look human-ish from your current vantage point, but then again, you don't really actually expect them to be human-ish. They are a lot taller than, a random selection of 4 people should be. So either a basketball team has gotten very lost.
The Monstars.
Or you have some sort of supernatural thing wandering through your field and trying to sneak up on you. Now, it is the middle of the day, too, so, they're not super trying to be sneaky. They're just, trying to get up to the house quietly as compared to just running at the door.
Well, that's not good.
Correct. Now,
I got 1 success, so how many do I see?
you see the field rustling in a way that indicates that there are people there.
Okay.
But Gray can tell you there are 4 people there.
Well, I wasn't sure if we were looking at different places, so she saw 4, and then I saw some other number of people. That was more my question.
No, you just...
Okay.
There are
We-
just 4 people.
Okay.
And so... I'm going to roll something. for the people looking particularly for Lacoca. Ooh, many dice. Alright, so I'm going to need you, Lacoca, to roll your willpower, please. Just all of your willpower.
That's 5.
Okay. Unfortunately for you, you walk outside and you fall asleep. And I will tell you what you see when you wake up.
Okay.
In a moment. The 4 people continue to come towards the house. What is everyone else doing? And does anybody see Lacoca fall asleep outside?
I was watching the door, so I would have seen him go down.
Okay. Lacoca is just asleep randomly.
All right, I'm not gonna follow.
Okay. Fair.
But shit.
Would either of us have seen that being on the lookout upstairs?
Probably.
Gray would be going to Lacoca. Very
Oh
concerned.
god.
No,
You
don't,
can
you're
go
gonna
do
fall
that.
asleep.
I'm going to go find some stuff. And Anila is going to go into her workshop and find anything made of iron
In fairness,
that she can use to hit
because
something
this
with.
is an Airbnb, you will have to go outside to the shed that you're using as a workshop here because you don't own this house.
Fuck.
Yeah, Cormac is gonna draw his handgun and take the safety off and keep eyes on that front door.
Okay. Gray, I need you to roll your willpower, please.
Okay.
Please don't, Gray. Oh,
Would a crit have counted towards helping me resist that?
Have I already burned a willpower in not
Yes.
revealing one of those things, even though I'm trying to reveal it in private?
Yes.
Damn. Okay. So,
Because the way that works,
Alas.
you have to either blurt it out or burn your willpower.
alas, the things I do for friendship. Anyway. Oh, hey, not bad. I got 2 10s.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm going to tell you right now, they have 8 successes on this, so you also
Oh no!
fall asleep.
Oh no! That seems unfair.
It is a little bit, but because they can all do one specific thing.
it's 1v4.
I think by that will
Hit
end.
the ground, and I just go. "Duh, stupid
Okay.
bitch."
Okay.
There are now 2 asleep people outside.
And
Please, no one else go outside.
What
And-
was that? To go outside?
No, Iris. He'll grab her.
Anne would probably have taken Maddock and gone into the bathroom, closed and locked the door.
Okay.
But I have my gun. It'll be
Iris, there's a blind woman in the bathroom. 2 people unconscious out there. I don't know what the fuck Anil is doing. It's you and me right now, okay?
Anil is trying to find something to use as some type of bludgeoning-based implement.
There are plenty of things like that around the house. It is an older farmhouse type thing. So,
Is there like a 2x4 I can stick some rusty fucking nails through?
The fireplace, the poker.
yeah, I was about to say, probably
Oh,
not,
yeah.
but you could probably find something like a crowbar or a poker or something like that.
I will take the fireplace poker because those things are made of iron, and I
Yeah.
will beat the shit out of some Fae with that.
Also, there is a working fireplace in this place, so if you wanted to...
And my pitchfork chainsaw is lying around.
Yes, it is.
How could we?
Is that what the fuck?
How could we forget?
Yeah, the chainsaw that I bubblegum glued a pitchfork onto.
Admittedly, there's only a couple of successes on that, but for the first couple of swings, it's going to be amazing.
okay. Okay. We've got Nancy Carter's in the bathroom. She's probably sleeping with this baby. Coca and Gray are just taking a nap or dead. I'm not quite sure which.
They're not dead. They would have made a noise if they died.
Not everyone makes a noise when they die.
I mean, they usually do, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm snoring loud enough to wake the dead, so you'll know I'm alive.
So while the rest of them are running around in the farmhouse trying to get ready, 2 of the 4 approaching people sit down at the edge of the field and just sit there while the other 2 continue approaching the house. It's a man and a woman, and the 2 who are asleep, you wake up in the dream space that you have been inhabiting over these past couple of evenings while you're here. Nothing has happened to you. You are in a field reminiscent of the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. In this dream, you can see what used to be the farm of Jacques. Trampled and broken. You see no other people from the farmstead that you remember, but you do see 2 people towering over you, at least 14 feet tall each. And they say to you, "We told you we would find you. Welcome, little siblings."
I don't think we're related.
Goes, "In all stories, we are all part of the tale. We offer you survival or destruction."
Out of character question, are Lakota and Gray like together, or are
In the
they
same
experiencing this separately?
It's the same dream.
So we're together at least.
Lakota,
Okay, cool.
you still have all of your, and everything you would normally have on your body, you still have here. It is like the dreaming, to some extent, to be here. This is a application of a neuromancy. They have entered your dream space on purpose.
I mean, honestly, I think as soon as they say the destruction, I'm gonna take that as a threat, and just like a barrel into the knee of the nearest one to knock it down closer to my level.
Oh no!
That's absolutely fair. Roll me strength and brawl, or unless you're using a weapon on them, and then roll me your melee.
Oh, we're gonna go full Levi.
Oh
I'm
no!
gonna take down Titans.
Gray's like just like that's happening. I know better than to get in between what's happening right now.
Great, it's okay. I've got 11 dice for this one.
In fact, Makoka does. I had to build something very big to deal with the fact that Lococa exists. Your threshold, by the way, here is a 7. It will increase as they get more opportunity.
Okay. That's a 10.
10 successes?
Yes.
Excellent. You barrel into one of the giant's knees, and you take it down to one knee. You do your strength in damage to it. So your strength is 5, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. So you do 5 damage to it, and it is on one knee. The other one is still standing, and it is looking at...
Oh, wait. Hold on. I counted wrong. I have one more die. That's 11 successes.
You still beat its threshold, and you still did your strength and damage to it.
Cool.
Gray, what would you like to do before the other one decides to do something?
Look, I don't know what's going on. I'm just a musician, man.
Well.
I'm just a storyteller.
Well, I might recommend trying a non-violent solution for you. You can do that.
That is Gray's non-violent solution.
Fair.
Just throwing their hands up and being like, please don't hurt me.
Would you like to roll a manipulation and empathy, please?
Okay.
Are you doing swipe or no swiping?
That's 4 plus empathy. Empathy. Somewhere on this spreadsheet. There it is. 6. Okay.
Should be under talents.
No, I found it. I'm just.
In fairness to you, they are giants.
What's the threshold?
It is 7.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Excellent. They are big, but not super charismatic. So it does pause before moving on. And I'm going to move back to the household for a moment before we deal with Lakota trying to destroy one of these giants just on site. Annunciacata, you are in a bathroom. What is your plan for this bathroom, or is it just hoping people don't come in here?
Pretty much listening. I have I have my staff, and then I have the cane that Neil made me, and I put matting in my purse or something to keep him safe. But she also was trying to practice Sparrow and Nightingale's Metamorphosis level 1 on him.
Okay.
See if that helps to change him at all.
Okay. I will tell you what happens when I figure out what's happening with the other 3. All right. The rest of you have weapons and are barricaded within the house as much as you can in a couple of minutes here. What are you doing to either prevent them from coming in or for dealing with the other 2 who are still approaching the house and will just open a window in another couple of minutes?
I'm not comfortable leaving Gray and Lakota just out there sleeping undefended. So
I would
approach the door, and
I think we should make a defensive point around here.
I could just
can
make
we
it
just
very
ask them to
rude.
stop?
I can make it very rude to be aggressive right now.
Oh, do me, dear.
Yeah, do whatever your magic sovereign bullshit is.
Ma'am, please take your finger off of the trigger of that firearm until we are ready to use it. Thank you. Yeah, can we just talk to him for a second? I don't want to step outside and fall asleep, but I also don't want to shut the door in the face of the 2 bodies. We
I
comfortable
could
with
try
that?
talking. Talking also works.
You know what? Yeah, you do it, Iris. You do it.
Okay, I'll push it away.
Can I have your gun in case shit goes wrong?
But it's mine.
Oh, as long as you can pull it out of your fucking hair in time to shoot someone.
She does this all the time, I'm sure. What the fuck? Wait.
How?
I'm
you
gonna-
put- No. Whatever.
Fine, Anil.
I'll give it back to you if I'll give it back to you. It is simply to make it easier for me to hand it back to you if you need to shoot someone. That way you don't have to fuss through your hair and it looks nice and all your pretty bullshit.
Okay. She hands it over.
Okay. In fairness to you, Iris, you do have the ability to talk to them if you want to. You will have to be fairly specific if you are going to try and power them out of this. Your manipulation's pretty good, so you don't necessarily need to.
She is going to just put her hands up. She's going to slide her beehive out the door a little bit, and she's like, "Can we at least talk? Can we talk?"
Roll me manipulation plus empathy, please. Cormac, do you follow her?
Oh, fuck no.
Okay.
I'm not going near that door. People are dropping out there.
Sorry. You're on your own, Iris.
What's the DC?
It's still a 6. You're still out in the main world.
6.
That's why I took the gun.
Right.
They pause and they're like, this won't hurt in the end.
I just have a series of progressively more difficult questions. First one is, who are you?
There it goes. Now, Cormac, can you hear this? Are you listening to this?
Oh, yeah. I'm just maybe 15 feet inside the house behind her.
Roll me a perception and empathy.
If I'm going ham in the dream world, am I kicking around in my sleep like dogs do?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
You are.
All right.
You are.
What's my...
It's a 6.
Cool, 3.
Great. You feel empathy for these people because you're pretty certain they're trolls. but there's something wrong with them.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're the only person who would know that, though, because they behave in a way that is familiar to you.
Okay.
So, first question, who are you?
He goes, we are servants of the winter.
Winter as in the person, winter as in the season, or winter as in the emotion?
They look at each other like, we didn't sign up to answer this many questions. And they're like, yes.
Great. Now, do you mind please holding? They say they're servants of, like, winter? And when I asked if it meant, like, a person named Winter, because I know I've heard of a few, the season or the emotion, they said yes.
Iris.
Yeah?
They mean like the big fucking winter that destroyed the fucking festival.
Let me ask them.
Oh my god, how did you not think of that? You're supposed to be the smart one or whatever.
I am not the smart one. I'm the talky one.
Right here.
Plus, I'm giving you guys time to do whatever the fun you are trying to do.
So close. Gotta break this bitch
No,
one day.
right? Right here.
I'm going to leave that there for a minute, and I am going to deal with Lacoca and Gray for a minute. Lacoca, the giant you have just flat out attacked is just going to swing back at you.
Come at me, bro.
Uh-huh. And I'm going to need you to roll your dexterity and dodge. And keep in mind, I built these things specifically for you.
I will say, I don't dodge. So I want to see if I can grab the swing and, like, flip them over.
All right. Then
Of course, you don't dodge. You don't dodge. You're queer. Queer people don't
Hey,
dodge.
Hell yeah.
roll me a strength then and brawl or melee.
I'll go melee.
Okay. Good God. Ow. Why is this thing so big?
I believe in you.
8. And it's still a 7. 9. 10. Okay.
That's a 10 again.
It rolled a 13. I have 5 10s
Well then.
here. And it takes a swing at you. It feels like being hit with a sledgehammer, like a concrete sledgehammer, and it knocks you backwards towards Gray. You take 5 damage from it. It is not
I have granite skin. That's 2 armor, so it would be 3.
3 damage, correct. You're going to take negatives now because you have taken damage the way it has. I took negatives on this because I've got 2 successes over here I'm sitting with that I can't use. So,
I guess I take a hurt and a wounded. I'm not sure how the health works here.
you should have like a -1 on your rolls or something like that at this point. Anyways,
So I guess that's -3 dice to my rolls, or...
it shouldn't be that many. Your first one should be a 0, the next one should be a -1, and I think you have another thing that allows you to ignore the first one, so I think you're only at a -1 on your rolls.
Okay.
I see it as bruised, which is 0, hurt, which is -1, injured, which is -1, which is where Lacoca would be at, and then wounded, which is -2.
Right. Great. The one you have put your hands up at, it has stopped because it offered more than destruction. Here, it is a female. She is blue. She looks like Cormac did in The Dreaming, except much, much taller. They both do. They have that similar troll hallmark, which you wouldn't be able to tell out in the real world. She says, you can join the winter, the coldness coming, and you will be saved.
I'm a creature of the sea. I don't really care that much about the winter. I just want to go back to my friends, my pals. Does this
She says, all things end, must come to the end of their cycle. We have come to the end of our cycle, and we were fools. We believed that we could defy it, and therefore we broke our oaths and broke our word and broke the cycle, the seasons, and now it must come to an end. It has been written.
Well, my cycle's not over, pal. I have oaths to keep.
She says, then it must be destruction. And she raises a
I don't
club.
want that, though. I super don't want that, though.
Okay. I got some fun stuff out for this thing. While they figure out that we don't want that, what are the rest of y'all doing?
I'm looking for Skycraft spells because that's the only useful thing I have.
That's fair. I believe in you.
Somebody has to because I sure as shit don't.
So, Iris, you are outside with the other two trying to convince them of things. You have successfully convinced them thus far of the first bit not to attack you. What would you like to continue doing with these two?
A lot of questions because I don't quite understand exactly what's going on, but I do understand enough to know that I don't want them here and that they did something to my compatriots.
Okay.
So, I'm going to politely but firmly ask them to leave.
Do you do this with any sort of ability, or do
I
you-
will! I'm going to use my sovereign ability to say
Dictum?
that it is very rude for you to continue such activities here and that you must vacate the premises at once. You have violated hospitality by putting my friends to sleep against their wishes.
Okay. Now, first off, this isn't your property, so they don't care about hospitality.
No, but it has been freely offered to us as a residence.
It's true.
In
But-
exchange for monetary goods, therefore, temporary ownership does belong to us.
In the mortal world, they don't care about that bit of it. But with dictum, I'm looking it up. Do you have it in front of you, by any chance?
With that first level ability,
And how much scene do you have, by the way?
I have one scene, but
Okay.
2 Fae.
That's good. It means whatever they are in terms of changeling society, you can use it.
So, yes, I will be using my protocol sovereign ability.
Okay. So, dictum. I should memorize this. It is a thing that they must fulfill. It has to be a specific request, which means
I'm using protocol.
Okay.
Which is, protocol, is just a simple, courtly dealings are often arcane and sometimes inscrutable. The first cantrip talks with people in seven that of etiquette in any situation. Anyone under the effects of protocol becomes bound by the rules of Kitham decorum and suffers the consequences of violating those rules even unintentionally.
Cool. They're just going to challenge you to a duel, but that's fine.
Well, it's less, unless sovereign turns me into an unquestionable leader or even compels someone to undertake a quest.
Mhm.
So I'm just saying, I'm in charge.
Yep. And they're going to say, great. Court's in session. This is a valid way to challenge who's in charge.
Bound by the rules of Kitham decorum.
I mean, it's not a bad play. Dictum's probably better for what you want them to do in terms of...
Dictum, is that...
That's a request that they must obey.
Well, then that, but I'm sorry, is that under, is that a different sovereign?
It should be your second dot of sovereign, I believe.
It is. Sorry, I thought that was an S. The book has fancy font. I was like,
So I know you've used dictum already, so like dictum is a thing you can do.
Yes. See, I'm gonna do dictum instead. I'm gonna use. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, vacate the premises, post haste.
Okay. You can hit the two that are currently talking to you, but you can't hit the other two who have sat down at the edge of the field.
That's fine. So I guess I roll. What do I roll?
So they're going to try to roll their willpower to resist it, and you are going to roll. Oh God, I'm so glad you asked. It's been a while. For the time being, let's go for manipulation and something. Leadership?
Okay, that works. Oh, what's my DC?
It will be a 7 because you're trying to enact this on 2 other changelings.
That many. 7.
Okay. I'm just rolling for them currently. 5. Damn it. 6.
7.
6. Yep. You beat them. So you are asking them to vacate the premises.
Post haste immediately.
Whereupon they both start walking backwards.
Cool.
Cormac. Her request does not stop them from coming back. They just have to leave and come back.
He's given this a lot of thought now that he's recognized them, and he's a little bit conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 of them are backing off, right?
No, the other 2 were not she was too far away from them to hit them with her scene because it's just one room.
The seated ones?
Yes. And so the seated ones who are keeping the other 2 asleep are out of her control at this point.
Okay. They start to walk back, and he's gonna run up to the door next to Iris actually on a whim, and he's gonna shout out at them, "Are y'all under oath?"
And as they back away, because this is how dictum works, they can't stop doing what they've been requested to do.
Yeah.
One of the women in this group says to you, "We have had many oaths, and we broke so many of them. This is what we are now."
He's not going to say anything else. He's going to step back inside and go, "Well, that cleared my conscience."
It seems like the opposite of under oath.
Yeah, they come back, shoot him.
Iris, here's your gun back. What do we do about the 2 fuckers out there?
Annunciata, can you hear any of this? I'm certain you can. Did you hear Cormac ask them if they were under oath?
I shouted.
Okay. Well, also, Annunciata has heightened senses no matter what, so, like, if you'd said it, she would have probably heard it. Would you imply what that meant? Because you can't see them, so you don't know what they look like.
They're oath breakers, so, and if it was Cormac asking directly, she would assume it was either connected to him or something of his kith.
Okay.
Because why would Cormac ask that?
You roll me an intelligence and Greymare, please, if you have it. Great. These are either trolls hired by someone else, or these are Dante.
Is that like common knowledge that you could explain what that is for the audience who doesn't know much about changeling? I know, right? Like I've said before.
So,
We both did a head tilt.
So for the purposes of the audience, and definitely not for any of our cast, Dauntain are changelings who have been more or less corrupted by winter somehow. They have a brand on them of some kind. There are many different types of brand on them. They came back wrong from their chrysalis, is how it is described. They do not have the same motivations. They are only titularly seelie or unseelie at any point. They tend towards more unseelie behavior, but that is more of a side effect more than it is a choice that they are enacting. They do not behave like their kith, except in that they still have the same frailties that their kith does. No one knows why they come back wrong from their chrysalis. And they have some abilities that are incredibly destructive. They are destructive to the point of self-destruction as well. They have something called Ruin. And it operates somewhat the way Cold Iron does.
And would probably unlock the door and try to call to Cormac and go, "Are they Dante?"
Yeah, pretty sure.
Do you think we should get into the car and go?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I'm packed.
What are you doing in there anyway? Are you good?
Well, let's see. I can't see. I'm not really good at shooting things. I'm only good at defending, and I'm reading just to see if I can find out what the hell is going on. So I'm okay, but I wanted to stay out of any possible fighting so that I didn't get in the way of what you guys were doing.
Okay, you're okay.
Makes sense.
And with this discussion of a possible flee, we're going to take a quick break here. And we will see everybody in about 10 minutes. Thanks, guys. welcome back. Thank you for sticking around with us. Thank you for being here on whatever day this is actually going to turn out to be like for most of us, but we're glad you're here. So, where we left off, Annunciata and Cormac were discussing the possibility of a hasty retreat from this farmhouse, while Iris had convinced 2 of your giant visitors to retreat from the property, at least temporarily, while Lakoka and Gray battled giants in their dreams. So, Cormac and Annunciata, are you implementing a hasty retreat, or are you going to attempt to wait this out?
We gotta drag the sleepers in. Shit.
Annunciata, your voice.
You're muted.
I am?
No, not you.
Oh.
Because I can't hear Junie at the moment.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all.
The beauty of filming.
Magic. There it is.
Now we can hear you.
Just cough. Just cough. There. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay. No, we could just drag them into the car. Why drag them back in?
Is it safe to step outside?
Well,
You
if
don't
they're
know.
retreating, I have no idea.
Iris, you trust your little thingy? Are they doing magic out there?
I don't know what's going on anymore. I lost track of what was going on about 5 going-ons ago.
Okay, Iris, take 5 deep breaths. Anil, I'm gonna step outside. Drag me back in if I fall down, okay?
Do my best.
He's gonna cautiously... This is gonna be stupid. Oh, God. Okay, just kind of put a hand on either side of the door jamb and lean out as far as you can.
Nothing happens to you.
Alright, I'm gonna run for the first body.
Okay. You run for the first body, and I will figure out if they are still close enough
Fuck
to do
off with
anything.
that dice rattling.
Look, they have 3 abilities, and they're allowed to use them.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Roll me your willpower, please. Just all your available willpower.
I'm gonna learn where things are one of these fucking days.
It should be towards the bottom of the sheet.
Oh, I'm looking up in my skills.
Mhm.
Amazing. Okay.
They did not roll as well this time as they did last.
Fuck yeah! What am I beating?
So you are rolling over a 6 or above, and you are rolling over a 5 as compared to an 8.
I got 5!
Sweet. So you tied, and then because it goes to the defender, you are still awake.
Yes! Okay.
Dope.
I'm gonna use my large hands and muscly arms to grab 2 ankles and drag back towards the house.
Are you dragging one ankle of 2 people or 2 ankles of one?
One ankle on each person, so I've got 2 bodies.
All right.
They're not big. They're both small people, right?
I mean, compared to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got that going for me.
I believe trolls can't botch athletics rolls anyway, so you can just do this.
Lit.
Because even
Okay.
if you did botch it, you can't botch it, so...
Okay, I'll drag them both inside and start checking them, see if I can wake them up.
Okay. They're perfectly healthy. Lakoka keeps trying to hit something. There is a moment that looks like she is knocked by something you can't see.
Okay.
But they're both healthy. Although Lakoka does look a little worse for wear, like whatever's happening in the dream is also impacting her body physically here. Gray, on the other hand, looks perfectly fine up to now. Which brings me back to Lakoka and Gray. Lakoka, you have been knocked backwards. What would you like to do to this giant man?
I think it's about time this Titan was disarmed.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to bite his arm off.
All right. So roll me in order here: a strength and athletics, difficulty 7, and then a strength and brawl. Brawl. Yeah, let's go for brawl. And you can lower the difficulty on the brawl to a 6 for this one.
Okay. So the first one is strength athletics?
And, yep. Just to get, on the giant to try and rip its arm off.
Okay. Athletics. Okay. Math is hard, guys. Okay. 10 successes.
Great. And obviously it can dodge out of the way. It does have Titan skin because it is a troll. It is a wrong troll, but it is a troll. 9 successes. You do, in fact, get on top of it.
Okay. And then for the bite itself, you said strength brawl?
Mm-hmm. Gray, while Lakoka is doing this, you are aware that you were in the farmhouse and then you were not in the farmhouse, which probably means you're asleep or in the dreaming, one way or the other. In both of those cases, there should be some way to exit that is under your control as well. So there should be an attempt to wake up or exit dreaming. Whichever one has happened to you, you would probably be uncertain which one is which, though.
Okay, so is that something that I can look for? Is that something that I can roll for?
If you roll me a intelligence and Greymare really quickly, you probably can figure out which one it is. Just
give me 2 seconds.
That's fine.
It's 4.
Annunciacata.
I rolled 1 8.
Okay, that's still a success. If this was the dreaming, you probably wouldn't be seeing Jacques' place again.
Okay.
Because you're not near it. How many was that, Lakoka?
That was 10. I'm trying to think if my Dark Appetite gives me anything.
I'm just going to see if it can resist you.
That just adds 2 to my damage then.
Okay. You get your teeth in it, but its arm is still attached.
For now.
Yep. But you have a big old mouthful of troll.
Does that deal damage, or right now I'm just latched on?
You're just latched onto it currently.
Okay.
That's how I'm handling that. It's only 1 success above yours. Cool. So, for those of you who can see outside the farmhouse, you can see one of the sitting people there. You can see its arm, not bleeding, but you can see it going limp. Annunciacata. As these people approached, you could hear the faint growling of the wolf in the back of your head. You can taste winter on your tongue. You can feel it at the end of your fingertips. You can feel it so close you could literally reach out and touch it. Roll me your willpower. Two successes is all I need. You beat it off. There is a siren song to these people, something you feel familiarly in your soul. But as you think about that, it's not something you've ever felt before. So how can you feel it in your soul? Or is this that growling noise you hear in the back of your mind and you fight it off and everything seems normal again? But for a moment, you touched power. And then it was gone.
And we'll actually go over, see if she can somehow find Iris and say the wolf is around. Somebody who holds winter is very close at hand. I felt it.
Everybody awake, please roll me. Well, everybody except, well, no, Annunciata would be able to sense some of this. Everybody who's awake, roll me perception and awareness, please. It's just a 6. You're just trying
Alertness,
to see.
you mean?
Yes, sorry.
Man, I was looking for awareness.
Sorry.
No,
I
it's okay.
do this a lot.
It's fine. I just think it's funny.
Or Iris, you definitely see this. 2 is fine. You hear this. Great. Everybody hear, well, Annunciata, you hear the pounding of hooves like horses coming up the lane. Everybody else, you can see a red-haired woman with some sort of fiery garment on. Iris, she is as attractive as you are in that very, like, she kind of way on horse. And she comes up the lane, and she seems to be dressed in red. It's technically farming clothing. It probably wouldn't stay farming clothing for intense amounts of time if you looked at her in the dreaming, but it's a familiar kind of person in that respect. And she comes up the lane with 3 or 4 other people on horseback. They have pitchforks.
What is going on?
We need to move, that's all I know.
Well, get them into the vehicle. I can keep stalling as long as I can.
Upon seeing the trolls, she lowers the pitchfork, kicks her horse into high gear, and announces, "You are trespassing. You are not wanted here, fiend."
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
This is clearly somebody who lives around here.
The fiend is obviously directed at the twisty trolls.
At the trolls. She's not looking at you right now. She's
Cool.
not interested.
I'm gonna put 2 and 2 together with Lakoka getting tagged and seeing damage done on one of the trolls sitting down, and I'm gonna take a shot at the troll that looks like Lakoka injured it.
Okay. It is defenseless in that respect. It is currently just sitting there controlling a dream. So roll me your dexterity, and I believe there's a firearms on this one.
Yes,
There
there
is
is.
firearms.
Use firearms.
Pew, pew.
Looks into it.
Lakoka and Gray, you don't know any of this is happening out in the real world. I'm going to have the... So the female giant is going to attempt to grab you, Gray, and just squeeze.
Oh.
You can try to dodge it. You can try to
Okay.
do something else to get away from it. You can...
Would using Skycraft a Howling Gale work in this scenario?
It is a big blast of wind, so yes, you could big blast of wind yourself away or it away if you wanted to.
I want to use the wind to push them away, and Gray's going to say, "Please don't make me hurt you," and then use the Howling Gale.
Okay, so
How would I do that?
you are
Well,
going to spend a point of glamour on this. Oh,
Okay.
and technically, Iris, you did too to use dictum.
Yes, I
On
had them
them.
marked.
So I just unclick the glamour pip.
Yep, underneath it,
Okay.
it's a superficial thing. It is something you will have to acquire glamour for again to reuse. It's not something that regenerates over time.
The circle or the square?
The square,
Okay. So I have clicked a square.
correct.
Got it. And I don't need to roll anything for it?
I need to roll some stuff on my side to see how they resisted, but no, in this particular case, it just goes
Okay.
off.
Got it. Some of them you roll and some of them you don't, and I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I don't know either. It's not very consistent.
As long as I'm not alone.
You are not. So, the troll is knocked back from you a little bit. They just seem to be fighting the wind, but they are now engaged with the wind over you. Lakoko, what would you like to do? Because currently the next move for this troll is going to be to try and peel you off its arm.
I'd like to pour that dragon's ire into my teeth and crunch
Great.
with an O.
Take your difficulty down to 4 and go.
Oh, do you want to roll for me? Just because I'm using my vampire dice. So they're not numbered.
How many dice?
What am I rolling?
Strength and brawl.
Strength and brawl. So that's 11 dice.
Okay.
Oh, no.
More?
No, 11. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm bad at math.
So you have several 10s here, dear. So
This is what we, in the biz, call the big crunch.
it is the big crunch. You have... Damn it, you have 13 successes. Holy fuck.
Told you I could take one.
You definitively chomp down into this arm. You've got a mouthful of giant arm. You can probably just eat it, but it'll take you like a whole minute here to just go down the arm.
Oh, yeah, wood chipper it up.
So the giant roars in pain, stumbles backward. Now, admittedly, you are now no longer on the giant, but as you're going, like, falling
Full on
from the
Tasmanian devil.
you are Tasmanian devil down the arm, and Gray, you can just see Lakoko just swallowing an entire giant's arm. Burn me 1 point of willpower to do this, but still, it shouldn't be a big deal for you.
Got you.
It's disturbing looking, but helpful. I would recommend that both of you try to figure out a way to wake up, but I will go back outside for a minute here.
I mean, my rationale is this. You know when you get sleepy after a big meal? If I eat a whole giant and I fall asleep in a dream, I should wake up in real life.
I mean, sure. In the real world, the two giants see this approaching party of other people you've never seen, and Madden pops out of your bag, essentially. And he's like, "Oh, I've heard that voice. Is that Elena? Elena's cool. Elena fights big monsters and does prophecy, but, I mean, I don't really know her, but she doesn't really give a shit what happens at court either."
So this would have been an acquaintance.
No, I know of her. I've seen her before, but I haven't met her. That's not a thing. Also, people are weird about Beaumain.
You think we'll be safe with them? Well, that's always promising.
I mean, I don't think we're safe with whatever that is. And he points at the giant. He's like, I was just trying to figure out if there was some way I could drop them as 6 inches tall, and hadn't quite worked it out yet.
That's right. I gotta work on making your hair blonde.
It's like, why do I need to be a blonde?
I want to see if I can do this correctly.
Do you want me to be a K-pop star? Is that it? Because
What's a K-pop star?
I think it's like baby steps to get you to be like a full-grown person. We want to start with a little off the top.
He's like, can we deal with the people who will just smush me out of hand first?
Well, of course, but I'm at least letting you know now what I'm planning to do later.
All right, well, I'll be a blonde. I mean, I went to a Seder party. Blonde is the least of my problems, I suppose.
Clearly.
As you are continuing to do this, the party outside there is a brief moment of golden fucking light, and a second cry of "Begone, fiend! You are not welcome on my land." And this time, it hits the other two, which you can see the arm fall off this person and the other giant who's just sitting there with Gray and Lakoka. And then a moment of disorientation. Clearly, something has used a larger sovereign power here that is tied to this being part of their freehold territory. Because this Marquise is tied to the land that she owns, the same way the Queen is tied to the land. She is using that power to try and get rid of the things that she does not want. The rest of her party continues to chase down these trolls like they're on a hunting party. They are whooping, they are yelling, they think they are acting like this is a big old party.
I can get behind that.
I guess our problem's solved then.
Iris, why don't you go out and ask her? Go talk to her.
Prettier than I did.
What? What?
Well, I tried helping and it was like, meh.
Yes,
That was like, meh.
But you have more diplomatic skills than some of us do.
I think we're being outclassed here, just in general, which seems to be just kind of the running fucking theme of our group.
Yeah.
But at the
Yeah,
same
it's just-
point, she can do that sea bonding stuff. You know?
Iris is gonna pop the beehive out. I have several questions.
Coca, the giant you were
Yes.
attempting to gnaw to death does not manage to escape the dream. He is at too many penalties now to escape the dream and escape from the she-woman riding across the property. Gray, the one facing you, shimmers and vanishes and loses control of you when you wake up. Lakoka,
Yay!
at this point, based on your dice rolls, we can do this the rolling way or we can do this the narrative way. You are going to beat this giant. It only matters how you would like to do it.
Just gonna go full Tasmanian devil and just leave the bones.
Would you like to take one of the bones with you on the way out?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I want to take as many as I can.
When you wake up, you don't quite have the bone as it looked in the dream, but you do have something. It is long like bone is, and it does have that kind of texture, but what it looks like to the mortal world, you're not really certain. It could be an animal bone, it could be, like a long tool implement if you'd like it to be that way. It could be like a metal, as long as it's not iron, because trolls are notoriously hardy. So something like that would be how it manifests, and I'll let you choose which thing you would like to have.
I mean, I was gonna take a bone, and since my whole thing is like making trophies, I was gonna make like a giant bone hammer.
Okay. Then it looks like an animal bone in the mortal world. And you wake up, and you still have the taste of blood on your teeth.
Am I still like being carried, or am I on the ground?
You were only ever being dragged.
Yeah, I
I-
just left the doorway.
Yeah, so I assume like once I snap to, if I'm still like in a frenzy, I'll probably like spring forward and just like cannonball in one direction. I'll probably just like slam through a wall or something.
Gray, you wake up being dragged too.
Gray does not like that.
There's also more chaos going on than you had when you fell asleep.
That's true. There is some kicking.
Cormac, your charges are awake now. Also,
Right.
the one giant just kind of fell apart.
He takes a look at his gun.
You did successfully hit it. It fell apart a little more than you were expecting it to.
Good God. Okay. I'm assuming that wasn't me.
The other 3 giants are being rounded up by this hunting party. It appears to be mostly she, though there is one person, because we're all in the mortal world right now, who's got a faintly earthy quality to them, druidic type feel.
Iris, those are she, right?
Yep.
Remind me what the name of the one in charge was. They look important.
Madden's like, Elena.
Thank you. I just don't want to be rude.
Iris is gonna put the gun away. And be
I'm gonna buy you a holster.
Why? It works.
Because one of these days you're going to shoot yourself in your fucking head. And you'll have no one to blame but yourself. Your last thoughts will be, oh shit, this was a dumb fucking idea. Should have listened to Cormac and Anil. And then nothing.
Well, the moment that becomes my last words, I will let you know. Because it's
Oh, trust me, we'll all hear
last
it.
words.
Anil, where the giant fell apart, there are some other bones besides the one that Lakota is holding on to right now. They look stronger than your traditional just animal bone. They're not hollow.
Ooh, I could do some interesting things with these. I will gather as many of them as I can.
Point of order, that's a little bit barbaric.
Annunciacata.
Point of order, fuck you.
I will raise my bone high, be like, trophy.
I'm
Trophy
not arguing
party!
with anyone.
Listen, here's my thought process. I want to examine it. I want to see if it is worthwhile. I'm not going to use it as weird bone inlays on stuff. I am merely going to see if it is a better implement to use for some things rather than others.
Annunciacata, these bones have that same sense of winter power to you. Even though you can't see them, you can feel them. You can feel their presence. Also, what do the cards say currently?
Last one I pulled out was the tower.
Nothing's changed.
I just dropped the tower of a person.
Not wrong. Annunciacata will let them know that that cold winter power is in those bones. And it just feels like it's growing. These people were tied into it.
The head of the hunting party eventually rides up to you. You can see that her shirt has strawberries on it. Like, it's very adorable, but also she looks like she'd murder you without thinking about it, too. So she's, happy, but also will hit you.
I don't like strawberry shortcake.
Yep, and she goes, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, we're good. Appreciate that.
Goes, "We've been hunting the Dantain on our property for several days now. It's interesting that they chose to converge on you. I appreciate your distracting them, though an incredibly dangerous thing to do."
They seemed interested. We didn't have too much of a choice, so you came in clutch there at the end. Appreciated that. You said you'd been looking after them for a couple of days?
Yes, we got some signs that they had escaped into my land, at least. I wish the other freeholds would let me help them with it, but they think we're creepy, so...
I ain't got no problems with you at this point, but I got a question. You said escaped. These things are escaping from somewhere?
Dantain can live in the world the same as everyone else, but a lot of the time they pass through the dreaming faster than other people. Otherwise, they exist in the world wrong.
I'm just not as familiar. I don't deal with the twisted stuff very often. That was a little upsetting.
He goes, well, it's an unfortunate time and place for you to exist. He goes, I, of course, am Marquise Elena of the Strawberry Ranch. No, don't ask me about why it's named that. However, there's lots of strawberries. They taste excellent. Also, lots of, bright red and fun. And I like to set things on fire. So, not boring.
Me too.
All right, yeah, I can appreciate that.
Goes, technically, I suppose, and I just assumed you were part of the community because of them. Would you like hospitality in my freehold for the evening? If nothing else, we can sort out what they were looking for.
Ma'am, I was going to ask in just a moment. I appreciate the offer.
He goes, excellent. That solves a lot of problems. You will have to meet my husband. He's really more of the seer and me more of the hunter, but he said I was going to have to save some people today, and he's worryingly and troublingly right most of the time. Which reminds me, I'm supposed to be telling all the changelings that pass through my property. I keep getting updates from Laurel. She really just has issues right now. We lost another freehold. Never mind. I think I wasn't supposed to tell you that. I can't keep track.
Lost another freehold?
Not my freehold. My freehold's fine, but one further west. One that belonged to Mr. J. The balefire dried out.
The farm.
Okay.
Good to know. Well, this might seem like a weird question out of left field, but do you have anybody back at your freehold that can make a tiny person big?
Goes. That is an interesting question. Do you have a tiny person that needs to be made big?
We might.
I see.
Maybe.
I'm not even going to bother to force that out of you.
We party hard, ma'am.
You clearly have a tiny person. I don't even want to know. But yes, I'm certain we have somebody who can do metamorphosis. If nothing else, I can contact my duke and we'll find somebody who can do metamorphosis.
Well, we'd much rather get it done by more local sources rather than doing an outreach program because, people get really, really embarrassed when they've been doing too much of the partying with the satyrs.
She turns her head on you, and she clearly recognizes you not as a person she knows, but as a she. You have that same air to you, and she goes, should I know you? Not being rude, dear. I can't keep track.
I'm Iris.
Just Iris?
Iris Diarmuid of House Fiona.
Ah, well, I can never hurt to be kind to any passing Fiona. The Queen tends to be about that. Come. My house is I say my house. The estate. We have one of those big farm things. I mostly keep up with the horses. It's just about 10 kilometers up the road. Everybody laughs. Turn left at the big oak tree, that kind of... You can't miss the house, though. It's the biggest thing for miles.
We appreciate your hospitality. But yeah, we don't need any outsourcing. We'd much rather deal locally with this type of issue.
We'll discuss it. Because I don't do things that are clearly illicit without understanding why.
Embarrassment. Gossip, rumors. It's ghastly.
Roll a manipulation check.
Can I add my fast talking?
Yes, you can. But you are going to use subterfuge and not leadership because you are lying to this woman.
Oh no, she is terrified of the gossips of this happening. But I'm okay with that too.
Fibs.
What's my DC? Because I rolled at least 2 zeros.
It is a 7, but that's still good.
Yeah, so that's just 5.
She is suspicious of you, but she doesn't ask you any more questions.
Yeah, just keep it on the...
Iris, at this point, you get a text message. It's from Cressida. She goes, "Darling, where are you? I haven't heard from you in days."
Just gonna respond back. I'm safe, period, with some friends, period.
Okay. Elena looks around. She goes, "Well, the boys are going to be at it for a couple of hours yet, which they'll be delighted to do. It's been rather dull for a while. We keep hearing about all this disaster happening. Oh, and she goes, you don't want to know what's happening in Concordia right now. I'm just so grateful that things are at least a little more sane here. But we're not the only ones who are having this problem with the freeholds and the balefires drying up. So that's fun. Anyway, do you have any questions for me?"
Always.
You said your husband was a seer.
It's a house trait.
Indeed. I'd like to talk to him. if
Absolutely. He's a little less burn shit than me.
possible. Oh, no worries. I can handle that.
Goes, "Oh, I should ask for names, at least the ones you're planning to give me. I know you're Iris," and she points at Cormac.
Cormac Blackwatch.
Excellent. And you, dear, Slua, sorry.
Annunciata, Ambassador of Bats.
You know, I've heard that name before. But you're not one of ours, are you? I don't mean, like, my freehold area. I mean that you're not from the land of Northern Ice.
No, I'm from Four Winds.
Oh, yes. Dougals.
Yes.
Well, Dougals are unobjectionable for the most part. Blunt as all fuck, but then again, I don't care.
I didn't think it'd be a problem. You seem very straightforward.
Look, I'm here to hunt down the shit people don't think exists and blame me when it comes to bite their ass.
Again, very forthright.
She looks at Gray. You, dear, you look a little worse for where we have baths.
Baths are good. I like baths. I'm Gray. Fuck happy endings. I don't know why I said that.
Well, that's certainly a forthright position.
Mm.
She looks at Lakoka, and I mean, I'd love to take you on a hunting party. I can tell you right now, but I don't know your name.
La Coca. And she's gonna do like that lean thing, like to see behind her, like where they're gathering the other ones. What's gonna happen to the other ones?
They're going to fight until they die, probably. You want to join?
Yes.
I'll get you a horse. You can have mine. Actually, if you take mine, then I can direct you to the house. I'm certain the rest of them have this handled. It's only a couple stray Daunting this time. He looks at Anil. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get around the circle. You, dear.
I'm a Neil. I make shit.
Shit needs
That's
to be
it.
made, so, you know.
That's correct. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's less good. But I always make it.
Hey. At least forthright descriptions of what you do and who you are. I'm here for it. It's much better than the nonsense my... sorry. I don't know what you know about House Bowmain, but we're seers and hunters, and the two things don't really always get along, so the seeing is really debatable on how you feel about it, and the hunting's a lot of fun. So, you know, one's very forthright and one's very nebulous, and I get tired of the nebulous.
That's fair. Nebulous is fucking annoying.
Anyways, she gets off her horse. It is a beautiful horse, by the way, Lakoka, and offers it to you. And she goes, just bring back Snowfall in one piece, and probably, well, I don't care if you cover her in blood. She really doesn't care either.
Deal. I'll be full on giant anyway.
Yes, excellent. So I am sorry that we didn't get to do this little introduction thing earlier. I don't usually check in on changelings who just passed through, but apparently you got caught up in one of our hunting parties, so it's good to meet you, and welcome to the hospitality part of being changelings. It's wonderful. Just disclaimers, as always. The hospitality only works as long as you don't fuck my shit and I don't fuck yours. And it ends when I say it ends, because it's my land. Usually at least 24 hours of me not being a terrible person, but then again, I don't find myself to be a terrible person in general.
Cool. I guess I will you can ride passenger and I can drive us all there.
Whatever suits you. I'm not picky on that kind of thing.
Mostly
I drive.
Well, it's
You can drive. I promise I won't take it from you.
That hurt.
So sorry, it's been a long day. Admittedly, this was the most exciting bit of it. I'm not grateful that they were attacking you, but I'm grateful whatever you are congregated them so that we could catch them and deal with it.
They said that they were serving under Winter.
Winter is coming, and fuck the fool who decided that needed to be on TV. Seriously.
Nuncia Kala, you're speaking very quietly again.
I think.
You're good this time.
Okay.
It's always when you clear your throat.
There. I think winter is already here. Feel the bones.
She looks around, and Anil, you still have the bones, correct?
Yeah.
Are they visible still, or are you just holding on to them?
Probably. Anil would probably be like, I don't want to leave them just out there.
That's fair. She turns to Anil and says, "May I? I won't take them from you. I just..."
May you what?
Touch them.
Sure.
And she puts her hand on it and she closes her eyes. And there's a faint whisper of power, and her hair floats out away from her a little bit. And then she brings her hand back and she goes, "That's some cursed nonsense."
In what way, curse?
I don't know how far you are into your life this cycle, child, but our powers are seasonal, and the more kind powers are of spring and of summer, and they bring abundance. We have the ability to bring winter forth if we desire it, but it destroys. And it destroys us in the end as well. The winter is coming thing is a nonsense literary device at this point, but in terms of what we think that is, it is the apocalypse, it is the destruction of everything we were, and it is a lack of glamour and ability to survive. And every passing year we seem to lose more and more, with some small exceptions. The 90s were wonderful, though there's some speculation if that had to do with the invention of the internet, actually. Which, not my bag. Anyways, changelings tend to freak out over winter. Hell, I freak out over winter, except it makes me murderous and want to go kill shit.
As soon as she says that, I'm going to rev up the pitchfork chainsaw.
She goes, "Oh my god. You know, I have a collection of interesting things I've used to hunt stuff. We should compare notes."
Making friends wherever we go.
Yep. Anyways, shall we go? Bring your shit, whatever it is, because I don't think this is secure.
I think Neil did a wonderful job making sure everything was secure.
I mean, I made it so that way we would know if someone was coming. I didn't make it so that way we would necessarily be perfectly safe from someone coming in.
Yes, but preparation is 9/10 of being ready.
Yeah, and the other 1/10 is creating punji pits where people fall in.
She goes, we can create, I am not trying to disrespect your plans, I just have a freehold and tenants.
That's fair. I'm just saying I did not go about my plan for securing this area in terms of murdering people, which I could have done.
Lakota. Perception alertness. I promise it's not going to attack you.
I mean, it could. Five.
Okay. You see another horse farther away in the fields, and it is a masked person, but the eyes are familiar to you. And then they ride away. Great. You get a text message.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's from Naval, your mentor.
Okay.
He says, things are looking up. It looks like I just got an invitation to Queen Laurel's court.
Oh, that's fun.
So I just wanted to say thank you for believing in me and all of my nonsense, and I will let you know how it goes.
Gray sends back a slew of emojis. And that's it.
Iris, your mentor finally gets back to you just at this moment, and Elena looks around at everybody's phones going off as this is happening, and she's like, popular moment apparently. And your mentor says, need more information. Is an etiquette problem or a personal problem?
Yes. Period.
Goes,
Send.
send location and we'll meet.
Do you know how to Zoom? Question mark.
FaceTime.
I'm not a Neanderthal. I just thought you were being cagey for some reason.
I'm being nervous for all reasons.
Well, we can FaceTime. It's fine.
I'll FaceTime you when I'm not driving. Period.
Okay. Cormac, you get another text from your boss. And he goes, I don't know why I have so much work in Canada right now, but it's convenient that you're there. So, if you could do me a favor, there is another item I need you to pick up. This time I need you to deliver it to someone. It is the handle for a spear. I don't know. He texts you an address in Winnipeg.
In Winnipeg. Okay. I'll start mapping that out and seeing if I can get there easily.
It's the next province over, so things are pushing you towards Lake Huron no matter what, but it's progressively towards that direction.
Okay.
And with that, Lady Ella, the Marquise Elena will get into the van with you guys. She will take you to her property. She is right. There is a big-ass oak at the end of the driveway. The property itself is more vineyard-looking than, like, horse ranch. It has a big stable, but it's kind of got like Italian architecture to it. If you look at Elena, she clearly has some sort of Italian ancestry herself in there. The house is just big. Like, it definitively has that feeling to it. It is busy, though, and you can smell food cooking from, like, the bottom of the driveway. That kind of busy. There are probably a dozen people just, like, going into the foyer that you can instantly see. There is clearly an entrance to the Dreaming here. Where it is, you don't know yet. You are taken off Elena's hands by somebody who claims to be like just someone who works here. There's like, you're like, are you her like house Carl? And she's like, no, I'm here to help. You know, that's my Marquise. You know, we work together. I'll get you to your rooms. You do all have separate rooms this time. They are not necessarily huge, but they are spacious enough to like spread out and do your own thing. And they are filled with a bunch of random knickknacks too, like just random shit.
Iris at some point would be like, "Does anyone want to go?" Oh, she's still trying to figure out group activities that everyone can do, despite individualized disabilities of being unable to read. We could play Go. I'm trying to come up with an activity that all of us can do, but I'm having trouble.
Look,
Go with what?
Sorry, just for statement, you can just ride off on the horse and join the hunting party. They do, in fact, murder the other three.
I call dibs on the bones.
You can
got ideas.
Well, you can take 2 out of the 3 of the bones. The third one is taken back to the freehold.
Fair.
floor.
What do you have a problem with, Iris?
I'm trying to come up with group activities. Like, normally growing up, I would try to play Go Fish with, like, house help, but I can't play Go Fish with you. I'm trying to think of fun stuff.
Well, you guys can play, and I can listen while I read the book. I don't mind. I was never good at card games. Except tarot. Unless you want me to start reading your fortune with Go Fish cards, which sometimes turns out to be really weird and difficult. Not to mention awkward when I come up with a fortune-telling session and you're trying to play Go Fish. When I needed the Queen of Hearts and you were trying to get it for your, Ace of Spades.
I'm going to pretend I understood some of those phrases that you just said.
They're cards. Don't you use Go Fish with regular deck of cards?
Yes, but, like, how could you tell a fortune with a poker deck?
If you know how to poke the right things on the cards, so I can read them.
Braille playing cards are a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to throw that out there.
I don't think you have any of those, right?
Anil. Can you take this deck of playing cards and make them into Braille playing cards? Please.
I think I may need to create a whole new set, because if I just try to punch holes in them, then the sighted people could learn Braille and tell via the punches. Yes, but not these. I'll make my own set. You can help decide the art for the faces.
Anil, one of the more interesting things about this property is there is a large forge outside. It is clearly a weaponry area. They clearly make things to go hunting here.
Big fan.
And one more thing before we close off for the night. Gray, you get a text message from your band.
Oh boy.
And it says, hey, we have some people who want like VIP tickets. They want our autographs. Should we say yes?
Who are they?
You are given a list of about 5 people who want to spend an insane amount of money to do this.
Did the name sound familiar to me at all?
Nope.
I want to show the names to Iris and read them to Annunciata. Just like, I don't know, like we're popular, but we're not this popular. We've never offered VIP to anyone before, except for like our pals.
Annunciata and Iris, roll me an intelligence and law or etiquette, please. Difficulty 6.
Yeah.
Excellent. Both of you would know this. There's at least one Autumn Rebel name on this list that both of you know. Now, different names. There's just clearly belongs to that faction.
Yeah, uh-huh.
That name I know.
That one there. That one.
Well, that sells it for me. No, you cannot sell VIP tickets. Absolutely not.
Okay, but it's so much money.
I super don't care.
How much are they looking to pay?
Yeah, it could be worth it.
No, I
What
just
would
wanna
Gray consider an exorbitant amount of money?
I don't know. $100?
Yeah, they're offering like 5K.
Yeah, no. That sounds bad. That sounds bad.
Well, like I can always pay that for you.
And then
For us?
I don't.
Why not?
You guys are getting in for free because
Yes.
you're my pals. And like, if you want to come, you want to come. Like,
Oh, I know. I'm just
Does
saying.
your band have merch?
Exactly.
we do.
See, Carla, we should buy all the merch.
Oh my god.
Do they have a website?
I don't buy merch.
A
Merch sucks.
PayPal?
The youngdoppelgangers.com.
Okay, so I need a hoodie. I need a T-shirt. We need mugs. We need
Keychains?
mugs.
Keychains?
If they have keychains. I do need a new thing of sunglasses. You do have sunglasses with your band on them.
That is one of the things we do not have.
Bumper
Okay,
stickers for the van.
We could do bumper
on
stickers.
This,
Do you have pins? Because I got this like wicked sick leather jacket.
I mean, obviously we have pins. We're all gay.
Yeah, okay. I just want to fucking check. Like, listen, Gray. Sometimes you don't know your target audience.
Like,
I
I
will
mean,
take
come on.
pins. That is the only merch I care about.
I know we haven't known each other that long, but you have met me. You have spent time with me.
I have. I just, figured I'd ask the dumb question. Pins can be expensive to get a hold of.
I
They're not
know
that easy to
they
fucking
were,
make.
but they were totally worth it.
Well, we will have to get all the merch. If you're letting us in for free, we still need to support you.
Well, I'm gonna text my band back and be like, "Don't worry about losing out on the money. I made a mistake. It's fine, but no VIP."
you get many question marks and emojis, but on that note,
Don't worry
we're
about it.
going
It's
to
fine.
end for the evening with everybody about to go into audience with House Beaumain and possibly find a way to make Madden not 6 inches tall, and with Lacoca with her bones of trolls, and Annunciata with the whisper of winter in her ear, and Cormac confronted with what it means to lose sight of what it means to be a troll, and Anil with a brand new weaponry forged to start messing around with, and a lot of questions for both Iris and Gray. So, with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We very much appreciate it. Our Discord and our YouTube have been in the chat. You can check out our cast as well. I have the links for everybody, our friends. Also, if you really enjoyed this and you want to give some extra points to people who played tonight, you can vote for the best RP in our Discord. Please join our Discord. We're doofuses. We make blanket forts in there and talk about random shit, and it's great, and I love it. And you are such a fantastic audience, and we're grateful to have you. And with that, I'm going to let everybody go around again and start at the top with MJ.
I'm MJ Bradley Lestrange, co-host of Reignite the Circle of Friendship and the Rob Thomas No Not That One Robcast. You can find me at iHoardLibrarians on Twitter or on certainpov.com, the Certain Point of View podcast network.
And Rhea.
Once again, I'm Rhea. Thank you for joining us. You can find me on Twitter at explosive_donut, where I make bad decisions and post about them publicly.
And Velvet.
Greetings, everyone. I've been Velvet. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the interwebs at OG Brown Sugar or Velvet Vine. Thank you for sticking around. You can catch me on Stories of a Broken Sun, the Flight Risk podcast, and Boston by Night, Saturday evenings at Onyx Path.
And Michelle. Sorry, Michelle.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, I'm Michelle. I do stuff. I'm Michelle C. Light on all the social medias, the Twitters, the Instagrams. I am the storyteller for Boston by Night, which is having its season finale tomorrow, November. Wow, days of the week. November 7th at 8 o'clock. It's the last episode of 2020, and I'm really nervous, excited, and sad all at the same time. And I also have a blog where I write about stuff, and I have so many posts that are drafts that I just need to hit publish, I'm nervous to hit publish. So, yeah, I do stuff.
And Junie.
I am Judy Von Esch, and you can find me on the Twitters and on Instagram at Judy Von Esch. I'm also on Twitch, and I am on the RPG table as a storyteller for Vampire Last Breath, a Chicago by Night storytelling.
Awesome. And Evan, take us home.
I'm Evan. You can find me on Instagram at Crawling Ivy if you'd like to. Otherwise, I'm here.
And I, as always, am Spectre Lafette on most social media. You can follow us at Arc of the Dragon on Twitter. And I know this has been a chaotic time for everyone, so I really want to say I appreciate you. And whatever happens, we're going to get through it together. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you. Fuck fascists.